I want to begin sort of where I left off last year. Last year, I shared with you our strategic priorities. And there was this simple 5 bullets that directionally told you what we wanted to accomplish from that end-to-end workflows in the platform, as well as our focus in new scientific modalities, collaborations between sponsor and research organizations, efficiency in lab automation, and clinical analytics. And I wanted to show you kind of the progress we've made first for this past year. And then after that, I will show you what we're planning for the next year. So with regards to the end-to-end workflow goal, the biggest update this year was the release of the Signals Research Suite. This is the first time where we have the full SaaS platform that can cover the end-to-end, capture, data processing, and results analysis. This is allowing many of the different types of scientists within our platform to complete their entire end-to-end workflow without ever leaving the suite. I also wanted to touch on recent capabilities we added, addressing the needs of the downstream scientists that are doing more structured data entry for formulations, for bioanalytical, for kind of the GXP processes, where they need to have more structured data entry and better validated data entry. We've built, in collaboration with a small consortium of customers, the worksheets feature, which allows that type of more controlled data entry. Also, really exciting development is the integration of the Inventa analysis element into the platform. This is where the dashboards, the analytical dashboards that contain the relevant results for a given experiment, can be directly seen and interacted with from the experiment itself. And they allow also to capture the reasons for a decision, or the specific dashboard that was used to understand the results and make a decision as to what to do next. And finally, in terms of end-to-end workflows, one of my favorite ones is the integration of entity registration within the experimental workflows. So in this case, we've had the entity registry, the materials libraries for quite a while, but we continue to add ways in which it's easier for the scientists as they are going through their experimental workflow to directly register and document any entities they produce in their step-by-step processes. With regards to advances in new therapeutic modalities, we introduced the Helm editor element. This is a great set of functionality for capturing both oligonucleotide and peptide chemistries using the Helm notation. It is directly built in to the Signals platform from the browser. You have access to the monomers and able to produce your drawings and store them within the experiment. It's also integrated with the registry, so you can register these entities. We also added specific RNA intelligence to the system, both in the material libraries as well as in the experiments. So when you're working with RNA sequences, we support the GenBank and FASTA, and provide strandedness and hidden restriction sign capabilities. We also added blast search. So if you're working with sequences, you can do blast searching now both from the Signals notebook search as well as from the analytics Inventa screens. You can define the searches and you can see the results as part of a aligned set of sequence results. And finally, as part of the Helm work, Helm curation was added to the system so that you can have your shared monomer collections, your own organizational or team sets of monomers, and maintain them centrally within the Signals platform. And all of our sequence aware tools, whether it's the Helm editor or the sequence alignment or sequence view tools, understand those modified residues within your monomer library. With regards to CRO collaboration, when we spoke last year, we were just in the beginning of designing capabilities in this space, and I'm very happy to report that now this is becoming close to reality. We're planning a release of the CRO capabilities as a new product called Signal Synergy. I don't want to steal Heather's thunder, who's talking after me. He'll give you a lot more details, but I wanted to highlight first that this is coming and available in just a few short months, and also that it covers some very key areas of CRO sponsor exchange. It covers the security aspects. It covers work order to detail the work that needs to be accomplished. It has collaboration tools to review the status of a project, as well as tools to manage the ideation process, and most importantly, an automated report parsing. So as your CROs upload their Excel reports, we can automatically parse them into analysis-ready data. And you'll hear a lot more from Heather in a few minutes. With regards to lab automation, we have been working with a number of partners in this space, but we have deepened our relationship with one of them in particular, Cytera. Again, you're going to hear a lot more about it later in today's sessions. But with the combination of the Signals platform and Cytera, what you have is two pure SaaS platforms that can help you automate any kind of lab workflows. You can connect to your ecosystem. You can automate and orchestrate data flows from both devices and instruments in the lab, as well as between systems. We find this technology to be very easy to use. It's a low-code environment. It really accelerates the use of this integration APIs within Signals, and we believe it makes these types of integrations possible for all customers, regardless of size or the sophistication of their IT department. So I'm quite excited about seeing smaller organizations being able to leverage the integration capabilities for this low-code environment. And finally, for the clinical space, we've had a very successful practice for many years where we help our customers do the data analysis for clinical trials. And it's primarily based on Spotfire and our ability to configure some very advanced dashboards to analyze the data. What we've done is we've taken a technology that we used in the Signals Research Suite and repurposed it to be able to productize the workflows. So it's now providing the capabilities of organizing your data across multiple data sources, metadata array, FTP, flat files, bring it all together, organizing it in a coherent way so it's easy to retrieve into analytical dashboards, and then we're building the configurable analytic workflows. So the end result is that the data managers and the clinical scientists will be able to very easily build out their own dashboards and manage their complexities of the data integration in a SaaS platform, as opposed to requiring heavy professional services. So with that little review of what we've accomplished over the last year, and kind of reiterating that we were able to align very well with what we'd set out to do at the beginning of the year, I want to give you a little bit of a view into our thinking moving forward. The first topic is what I call kind of knowledge to execution. As you all know, we in our platform have a very experiment-centric view. We really focused on the experiment as the primary entity that the scientists are working with, and we're very good at documenting what goes on in an experiment, capturing all the data and all the knowledge associated with a scientific experiment. And we're therefore very good at the knowledge capture. More and more, as I speak to customers, they're asking us to push beyond that. They often come to us with more complex workflows, multi-step, for example, in the areas of cell and gene therapy, where there's a complexity around the cell culture, around the cloning of the of the various constructs. Each step is complex. It generates lots of different samples, lots of different entities that need to be tracked, complex processes to get through the final results of an experiment. So very complicated multi-step experiments. And they more and more ask about us taking, deepening our view into more sample-centric and process-centric views. And in a sense, moving from just knowledge capture to really driving the execution of what goes on within an experiment. Those are concerns that are typically not what you find in an electronic notebook or in a research platform. But we understand that especially in this complex workflows, it is quite beneficial to extend our capabilities into that sample-centric and process-centric view. So what we're doing directionally is kind of redefining the platform to grow beyond a research platform and include some capabilities that you typically might find in LIMS, in lab execution, or in manufacturing execution systems. But it's critical that you understand that we're not trying to become a LIMS or an LES or an MES. Those are complex systems with lots of functionality. They serve very well the basic purposes of analytical workflows and process workflows. We're really focusing our attention on the specific areas that customers are pointing us to in those complex scenarios, in those multi-step advanced scenarios where the sample management and the processes are complex beyond what a typical LIMS or LES system can manage, and really building out the tooling to be able to address those workflows. So what you can see directionally too is that we'll be providing more and more capabilities for that driving execution downstream from early research into development, scale up with strong capabilities within the process chemistry, bioprocessing, and even into QA, QC, and manufacturing. This is very early stages of our thinking, but in collaboration with our key customers, we're directionally looking at extending the platform in this way. The next item on the list is Signals ChemDraw. This is an initiative we've been working quietly for many years already. We knew that we wanted to modernize the ChemDraw platform and to be able to essentially add all the goodness that we have in the Signals SaaS platform to our key franchise, ChemDraw. So we're already doing a release later this year that shows the capabilities and the benefits of having ChemDraw be part of the SaaS platform. I'll mention a couple. For example, we eliminate the requirements for activation and during installation. You can simply authenticate, with the username and password through your standard, corporate authentication, and then get access to ChemDraw. We'll also be providing search capabilities, so you can find your files by chemistry and by other means very rapidly. Collections, creation of collections of molecules and related data that you can manage and share, and overall collaboration tools that you can share your content in ChemDraw with your teams with a high degree of control of who gets to see and participate in the creation and management of ChemDraw files. As I said, you'll see the first phase of this happening later this year with the release of the first version of Signals ChemDraw. The other area where we've been engaging with many of you is in terms of predictive analytics. Most everybody is interested in getting more out of their data. AI/ML is obviously a very important part of it. The ability to build models, the ability to automatically re-execute and improve models is critical. And this is true whether you're working with traditional chem informatics models or going into more advanced and more recent property calculations and models around large molecules and biologics. We believe we're well positioned to help your organizations do this. We already have the platform. We are holding on to a lot of the data that drives the modeling. We have the results of many of the assays that you want to compare to the model data. And we have, most importantly, the experience of building the SaaS-based environments to do this type of model execution. So directionally, again, and this is still early days, we are looking at adding capabilities to the platform to help your scientists be able to execute and consume and create AI ML models, both that we provide, our partners provide, and that you bring to the table yourselves. We're really more focused on the architecture and the infrastructure to make this easy, to make these capabilities accessible to the scientists that are not necessarily bioinformaticians or experts. So democratizing the access to models, as well as automating the build of those models. And finally, the other thing that I personally hear continuously is many partners, at least a couple times a week, I get a phone call from somebody who has exciting technology, software capabilities, data capabilities in our space that calls me up with an idea of integrating those capabilities into our ecosystem, right, into our suite of capabilities. And of course, we don't pretend to do everything or want to do everything, so we're quite excited about being able to take third-party capabilities and integrate them into the platform. Sometimes it's challenging to do that. We can't do it necessarily easily with everybody that calls us up and says they have a nice related capability, but we want to make that easier. We want to make it more self-serve. We want to give those partners the tools that they need, the APIs, the documentation, and the business models to be able to easily plug in capabilities into the Signals platform. And so for you guys, what I ask is that you think about, what doesn't Signals do today that you see others in the market do well, and that you would value being integrated into our platform, and reach out to us, and to me in particular, so that we can work with those partners to figure out, the most direct way to get their capabilities available to you without having to leave our platform. So that's basically the snapshot of the future. 4 simple, directional, aspirational sets of capabilities that we're trying to build. And I am looking forward to the questions and to the discussions that ensue in the NEXUS 2023 as we continue to plan the future of our platform. Thank you.